Hello, visuals, you beautiful bunch of bastards. How are you doing today? And welcome back to the Visual Guys podcast, where we're going to be doing the Thor Love and Thunder spoiler heavy review. If you don't want to see a review and you don't want it spoiled, go check out one of the people that are good at doing reviews. Or if not, if you want something a bit low quality and shit, go check out the Visual Guys spoiler free review we put up a couple of days ago. It is just me again. Rabibi's at work, and Chris is in the middle of. I explained this. Hopefully, you listen to the Miss Marvel review podcast. He's in the middle of moving house and doing grown up stuff, so he can't be with us again this week. Usually, it's with the entertainment news, but we're just going to stick with the Love and Thunder spoiler heavy review. And when Chrissy Boo's back finished doing his house to house and being an adult and having, life settle down a bit, he'll be back rambling on with me, so you don't have to listen to my annoying voice on your own. I'm going to burp. I'm sat here with a big fucking bag of Maltesers. It's a share bag. It says more to share. I ain't sharing with anybody. They're all mine. But we've seen Fall Love and Thunder a couple of times now, and oh my god, it is fucking beautiful. I went to the morning showing on my Todd, and to be fair, I said it in the spoiler-free review. Is it weird to go to the cinema on your own? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments, because I really don't think it is. You don't go there for conversation. The conversation is before and after, or now in the podcast. Uh, and you're not going to be talking in the cinema, so why is it an issue? To be fair, I absolutely loved it. The morning showing wasn't too bad. There wasn't that many people anyway. It's probably quarter full maybe, and to be fair, there was quite a lot of people on their own. And not everybody's going to take a day off work to go see Thor Love and Thunder like me, but. Yes, visuals. This was such a friggin' beautiful film. I repeated myself so much in the spoiler-free review, so I'm gonna get the stuff that I need to get out with first, and hopefully I won't repeat myself. But I always seem to do that. But this is definitely the best version of Thor we've seen, I personally think, in terms of comedy and how he delivers, how Chris Hemsworth delivers the role, whether it be his lines or interactions with other characters and stuff. He's very well done in terms of the vulnerable side of him. Open himself up to love. In this case, Jane Foster. How he fights, how he battles, how he interacts, everything about it's so cool. It's probably the best version of the MCU 4 that we've ever had today. That's what I think. Um, this film was absolutely outstanding. I think I said it. I was a bit unsure when I said it in the spoiler-free one, but I'm going to say it's definitely the funniest MCU film we've had. I've watched it again. I've had more time to go over it. It's definitely it made me giggle the same amount each time I saw it. Absolutely, I fucking adore the comedy in it. The writing, the directing, the cinematography, the acting, everything about this film was beautiful. From Christian Bale doing this beautiful, beautiful version of Gore. The only downside I still have is I want to see more of him. It's not like a downside as in like I can really give it a negative review, because the stuff that I got I fell in love with instantaneously. It was beautiful. I just wouldn't have minded to see it a bit more. Not only that, I definitely think he's up there for maybe in my top three MCU villains. I have the original comic book run. I'm so glad I've still got them books. They've probably got them a pretty penny by now. But he's outstanding. This Tess Thompson, great. Jane Foster, amazing. Natalie Portman, Natalie Portman's Jane Foster, amazing. And they obviously, big spoilers. Remember, they went down the cancer route, which I think you could only have told this story with the cancer route. And of course, we know that she dies at the end, because every time she uses Mjolnir, fair enough, she can go around as Thor and she's relatively okay. But when she goes back to a human form, she's doubly fucked. She's not in a good place. They went down the cancer route. She dies at the end after her and Thor fully embracing everything and falling in love and all that. It was absolutely beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. Even when I was on my own, I was just sat tearing my eyes out. But I cry at everything. Gore. Go back to Gore quickly. He's such a great villain, because again, I know this is not always the case, but I love a classic villain that's just I'm here to be bad, end of. But I also love one that's got a real heart and drive to his story and his character arc. And obviously his is he was truly left abandoned and left to fend for himself for the gods that he spent his life worshipping, and his daughter dies, and it's not that he's justified, but you understand his anger and his reasoning to want to try and get some revenge and try and do some harm to the people that wronged him, and you get where he's coming from. He's such a great character to not necessarily get behind, in terms of you don't want him to kill all these innocent gods, but you like, I kind of want you to get what you want a little bit, because I feel shit on you. But yeah, he's so great. Korg as well. Taika Waititi, he did a great job directing. Did another fantastic job as Korg. I generally thought he was going to be dead for a sec as well, because we see him get turned to a big old pile of stone, which was fucking scary for a second. It's like, no, no, it turns out it's just my face. The origin of how his people come about is absolutely beautiful and brilliant. Thor comes full circle in this because he was on his own, and he was like, he feels a bit misplaced and misguided in the world. He has a few cracks with Peter Quill and the Guardians and whatnot. He's like, I don't want to open up to love and all this kind of stuff. But then he's like, no, I accept myself to love. I'm gonna. And then even when Jane dies, he's like, I'm happy I got to love you, and then I'm sad and whatnot. But she did what she wanted to do with a little bit of remaining time, and he was ultimately happy that she got to do that, I guess, and he got to spend the last few minutes with her and stuff, and they both opened up, they love each other and stuff like that. Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie, as per usual, fantastic. I love Tessa Thompson, even from back at Creed and stuff. She's fucking phenomenal, and Valkyrie's just a badass. They show obviously a bit more of her do I say lesbian or gay side in this day and age, her gay side or whatever in this one as well. um it's apparently this was supposed to be the most LGBTQ whatever film there is. I didn't see a hell of a lot of it. I saw little moments, but I wouldn't have said it was like completely in your face. So, unless there were some parts that went over my head because I'm there to watch comic book stuff, not real people stuff. Yeah, so everything about this film in terms of comedy and drama and action, the action was amazing. I said it before, and the other one will say it again. The Shadow Realm, oh my fucking god, it could be one of the best bits of cinema I've ever seen in terms of visually, purely because of how it looks. It's very Sin City like. They make it there, and their color starts to fade, but then you've got a few little tinges of like a bit of the blue and a bit of the red, and Gore's black and white, and the planet's black and white, and and they have this big battle. Zeus's thunderbolts going around everywhere, and Mjolnir's breaking up and hitting stuff, and Storm. Just all of it so visuals. I'm dying because it's so beautiful. It was. I think it was the color change as well. If they would have kept it normal color, don't think it would have worked as well. And apparently as well, I just watched an interview for Rotten Tomatoes that Taika Waititi did. Apparently, Gore was gonna have like a song, a dance number that would have been beautiful to watch. Why couldn't they have let that happen still? Honestly, I need to go back to him. The way that he delivered it. The interactions with Gore and Thor were amazing because, they'll be fighting. There's some serious stuff at play. And Thor would be like saying stupid stuff like, "Oh, when can you see a dentist? We need to stop bumping in like this and all this kind of stuff." Gore tries to touch Stormbreaker or does grab him. He's like, "Stop touching my things." To be fair as well, one of the funniest line is when a bunch of kids get captured by Gore as Guardian kids. Um, Thor calls them Team Kids in a Cage, and it was just, I don't know why, it just burst out in hysterics. It was such a funny line. And the end, he gets like this mini little Asgardian kid team, which is fucking badass. He's like, oh, you can all possess the power of four for a limited time only. They all get the power of four, and they all fight the big monsters that Gore creates. It's a different version of how Gore gets his hands on All Black, and what All Black is in this, because obviously we know All Black being from the Dark Lord, and it being the first symbiote doesn't really. I mean, the creatures that he creates do kind of look a little bit symbiotic, but they're not. I think I was just reading into it too much because I really wanted them to be, because symbiotes and stuff are like my fucking fave things ever. They're fucking beautiful. But it was definitely a whirlwind of emotion. Oh my god, visuals. We need to speak about uh, Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder, the goats. Oh my god! Like even in the serious moments when they do arrive to the nightmare, the Shadow Realm, and and they land there and they still hear the goat screams, and they just scream their head off the whole film. Absolutely hilarious. Another thing as well. Russell Crowe's Zeus, great in this. Absolutely great. The way his accent, and he was being comedic and funny. And obviously, we were more used to seeing Russell Crowe a bit more intimidating and angry and whatnot. Especially if you just recently watched that like road rage film thing that he did. That was nuts. But he was great in this. We do get two cutscenes as well. We get two cutscenes. One of Jane Foster being welcomed into the afterlife by Heimdall himself, Idris Elba's Heimdall, and he says, "You're more than welcome here." Blah blah blah. And it's like a nice little ending for her. Whether we go further with that, we don't know, because we know that they exist somewhere. So there might be a way to bring them back into the films, however they want to do it. And the other one is we have this big old battle between Thor and Korg and all them against a bunch of the guards where Zeus and everybody is. And Thor ends up fucking up Zeus and stabbing him. You think, oh, maybe he's dead, but he's not. He's just been stabbed with his own lightning bolt, and he's good at holding his chest. But he's speaking to his son Hercules, a character we all know not only from the Greek mythology but from the comics themselves. And Hercules played a big role in Thor's comic book life in terms of fighting or fighting against and fighting with, and he's teamed up and blah blah blah. So he's making an appearance. And I can't remember the actor's name. He's playing. He's from He's being played by one of the lads that were in Ted Lasso. And I fucking, if you know that, if you like football and whatnot, it's absolutely fucking hilarious show. And I'm like, oh my god, that's you. That's fucking sick. So Hercules is on his way, and by the sounds of it, Zeus is sending him to try and destroy Thor and dethrone, or not dethrone him, but take him out. But what the Another really, I'm just looking at my notes. But yeah, All Black. We spoke about Hercules and Darcy. Darcy makes a nice little appearance again. Obviously, last time we saw her was WandaVision. It was always cool to see Darcy. Lady Sif's back, and she's without an arm, but then she joins up at New Asgard later on, which is again friggin' awesome. What note should I mention? Oh, well, the film Love and Thunder. Gore's daughter, who dies at the very start of the film. We see Gore holding her, and they die because they walk in the desert stuff, and then they need like water and shit. But before Gore makes his ultimate wish um, to destroy all gods, he actually changed it after a few words of encouragement or advice or whatever from Thor. And seeing Thor being in love, he brings his daughter back, and he sort of redeems himself and comes good again. And he basically asks Thor, "Will you look after my daughter?" Thor then does look after her, and at the very end, we see them together, and Korg's retelling the story about Jane Foster and stuff, and we see him and Gore's daughter. I can't remember her name now. Um, Together in battle. She's wielding Stormbreaker and he's wielding Mjolnir. And it says Love being the young girl and Thunder being Thor, so that they were the Love and Thunder, which was absolutely sick. We see as well the center of the Earth, because obviously in the Marvel comics we all live in the body of the universe. Is what the fuck is his name again? It'll come to us again in a minute. We live in eternity because obviously in the Marvel comics we all live inside of eternity. It's like it's basically a big walking celestial sort of thing that everybody lives inside of. The universe, different planets and whatnot. Blah blah blah. So yeah, he makes his way there, and it's all changes, and that's where Thor gets Gore's daughter, but obviously by Gore's choice, and away they go and live happily ever after. They do this big battle on this beach at the end, and he's giving us some wisdom about battle and how she should be and treat people and act and whatnot. And obviously she has powers of her own, which I'm sure will be explored further because Thor doesn't die in this. I was kind of expecting Thor to die, even though versions of him do. But Thor overall overcomes Gore in the comics. But I was expecting Thor to die, but he's going to continue. So Chris Hemsworth looks like he's going to be getting another film. So he's going to be around in the MCU for a while, which is awesome because it kind of felt a bit sad that potentially all the OG lot are going to be gone because we don't have many left. Um, so I'm glad that he's sticking around. Whatever bits I need to mention, I've already mentioned how the film plays out. That's spoiler-free review. I don't want to proper repeat myself like a dickhead. Any other big, massive moments? I've mentioned the fight. We've talked about how the story flows, different characters, character introductions like Zeus and whatnot. Hercules is to come. Yes, we've been for you with the goats. Korg is we've already mentioned Korg, but yeah, Korg is still absolutely fantastic. There's Meek's a bit higher up there. King Valkyrie, King Valkyrie doesn't play a hell of a lot in this. We see her, she really wants to go to battle and stuff, but she gets injured against the fight against Gore, and she has to set out the last final fight. But she still did great. She did amazing. Maybe could have had a bit more screen time, but the way the story flowed and played out, I think it was probably best to do it how they've done it. Maybe. Yes, done you. I think we've done most of it. But yeah, visuals. So I think we'll probably end it there. I think I've. Yeah, we can bin the notes now, but visuals. So that was the spoiler heavy review for Thor: Love and Thunder. It was fantastic. I'm sure I'll go over it again anyway when Chris is back, and we can talk more into any bits that I've missed and stuff. But visuals. Let me know what you think of the film, and get the conversation going about everything for Love and Thunder. Where do you think it's going to go next? What do you think is going to happen to Thor next? How did you like him as a Guardian of the Galaxy? His comedy with Peter Quill and Star Lord, well, Peter Quill, what I mean, was fucking hilarious. You're giving me my plane, blah blah blah. Absolutely, mate. I loved his as well. His Ravager look just looked great, and there's the dynamic between him, Stormbreaker, Mjolnir, and Stormbreaker having like a life of its own, and he's having like give it your first beer, and I know my ex weapons here, blah blah blah. Like it was in a genuine relationship because he's like so detached from human relationships. He's having his relationships with these inanimate objects, which it was all of it was great. But there we go, visuals. We'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. We're always keep being you and keep on keeping on.